What's up, LEGO fans? Tom from True North Bricks here. Today I built bags 19 through 28 of the LEGO Eiffel Tower. So let's take a closer look at what that was like. So today's build session was about 3 hours long, and you essentially assemble the four main support struts in bags 19 through 28. Now, like I said in the unboxing, I was a little bit concerned that when you're building this, it's going to be a sea of gray, you're going to get snow blind, you're going to have trouble finding pieces, and that was exactly the case. So there is a lot of gray already in just these support struts. I didn't find the instruction manual really split up the build well enough to make it easy to manage all of that. But there are certain things that you can do when you're building to make it a little bit easier and to make it better to find pieces. So when you are looking at the instruction manual, you're going to see that there are these pictures that show you what you're building, and it will also tell you how many of them you are actually going to build. So my recommendation is when you see one of those, pay careful attention and build all of the parts simultaneously. So with this section of the build, you built 2 struts at a time. The first time I went through it, I like to build so that I build one complete object, and then afterwards I go back and I start the section of the instructions again, and I built the second one. That was a terrible mistake for this set because of all of those gray pieces. So what you really need to do is you need to build both sections at the same time. So the second time I went around, I did that, and it was way more manageable with the gray pieces because you only had basically one bag open at a time. Whereas the first time I went through it and I built one strut, and then the second strut, you open up one bag, you dump the pieces, there are still pieces left over. You open up the next bag, you're adding to that pile of gray pieces, and it gets kind of overwhelming pretty quick. So again, when you're building this, or if you build this, I recommend you pay attention to those pictures at the start of each section. If it calls for more than one thing to be built, build them at the same time so that you manage the pieces just a little bit more easily. Otherwise, there's a great amount of detail in here. Building the struts was, however, a little bit repetitive. You're building a lot of this cross work in here, and those pieces are all the same on all the struts, and it does get a little bit boring. So it might be to your advantage to break it up a little bit, maybe build one strut at a time instead of all four. I also found that after building one strut, you know the technique for the other ones. So you could put on a TV show or something in the background, and it kind of gets mindless after a while building those crosses. But again, it is repetitive. So if that is an issue that you have with Lego sets, be warned, this set has a lot of repetition already. Otherwise, make sure that you like and subscribe. We're going to continue the build in the next build journal video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.